good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Welcome to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. It is Monday, November 18th. I'm going to talk about my weekend real quick and then get to my in-studio guest because I'm so excited he's here. My weekend actually started Thursday night. I was in Jersey at a film festival in Cranford, New Jersey, and I was with Armand Asante, and there's the pic. Thank you very much. He is a lovely person. That's the third time I met him, and guess what, people? He will be on Tea Time in the near future. Thank you very much. Hoping to get him before the new year. If not, it will be after. Thank you. And then on Friday night, I went to Danny Aiello's Italian Chicks of Comedy with Marianne Mazzano at my father's place in Roslyn. I am an honorary Italian chick. I fill in whenever she needs me. The show was great. Had a blast. My friend Mark the Animal Mendoza from Twisted Sister met me there. So shout out to Maya because it was a great show. Saturday, I went to go see my son-in-law Stephen LaRose play with his band out in Patchogue. Crucial Experiment. There they are. It was tight, but it was fabulous, and we had a great time. And yesterday was laundry and football, and I went to go see the Buffalo Bills play up the block at Shooters in Wantua with my girl, Kathy Arnold. Yeah, there she is. So shout out to everybody. Had a great weekend. Let me get to my guest, because right now I am just so excited. He's an actor. He's a director.
That's it for the weekend?
That's it for the weekend. Wasn't it enough?
I thought it was going to be spicier than that. You promised me some wild
the
stories.
show goes to cable, so I have to keep it, G-rated.
Okay.
But he's an actor. He's a director. He's a writer. And we met not that long ago. And Dan Lauria is here. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, I'm so excited you're here.
Yeah, we got to eat at a diner. They don't have diners in L.A.
I know, you said that. There are no diners in L.A. What's up with that? Someone opened a diner in L.A. So listen, let's talk about you. A lot of people are very excited that you're here tonight, including myself. And, but you're originally a Brooklyn boy, right? You were
born in Brooklyn, grew up on Long Island,
yeah,
Lindenhurst.
Lindenhurst, went to Lindenhurst Senior High School, class of...
okay, long time ago,
whatever.
65.
There you go. And you were actually on the varsity football team there?
It's the only way I got to
You played
college.
football. I think we have a pic of you. Football.
Well,
Thank you very much.
You
Look at that. So what position did you play when you played?
On offense, I was a center, and I was a linebacker on defense.
Wow.
And at college, I was a linebacker.
Well, I was going to say, you were so good, you actually got a football scholarship, didn't you? Kind of, sort of?
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Okay.
I went to a small school in Connecticut, and the scholarship was they gave us a phony address, so we were in-state students. So we only paid what the in-state.
Okay, yeah, Southern Connecticut.
Which really
State University,
angered
right?
the guys I played with who were. But half our team was from Long Island. So.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did you, so you knew people that were there from the neighborhood?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I was in high school, my friend Charlie Wilt and we were captains of the football team, we were captains of the baseball team. He went to Southern and ended up being the captain of the baseball team at Southern, and I ended up being the captain of the football team.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
We had a lot of guys go there.
All right. So. Well, you also joined the Marines, correct?
After undergraduate
Yes,
school, before
that was like
graduate school.
70 to 73.
70 to 73.
And you were actually in Vietnam, and you were a platoon commander.
Yeah,
so I want to
but
thank
I was
you.
there. I always make it clear I was there
Right.
for a very short time.
Well, I still want to thank you for your service.
Oh,
and we have a pic of
my
that
honor.
too. There you are.
Yep.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for that.
Yeah.
I know it was just Veterans Day, and I had posted a picture of my dad was in the Navy.
The Navy.
And you resemble my dad a little bit. I showed Dan a picture of my dad when my dad was much younger, holding me on his lap.
Yeah, so we're going to avoid the Marine Navy joke.
Well, yeah.
Actually,
well,
the best loved man in our platoon was the Navy corpsman.
really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
bravest guys you ever want to meet.
Oh, nice, nice. So when you get out, did you always have a burning feeling inside to act, to get into
Oh, I always
acting?
wanted to act, but when I got out, I ended up coaching at Lindenhurst, and I had a chance to go to Iowa to get my master's degree and coach football, be a graduate assistant.
Okay.
And right before I was going to go, I got a scholarship for playwriting at the University of Connecticut. And I knew if I went to Iowa, that was it. It would
it
be
wasn't gonna
football.
happen.
So I went to Connecticut.
Football acting,
Yeah.
football acting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody has those crossroads, you know.
And everybody has an old black and white headshot, and we have that too.
Oh my God,
Because
really?
I had one back in the day, and there's yours.
Oh, geez. What happened?
Yeah. Oh, we all seem to age, you know. But
You know, Fred Savage, he saw a picture of me in the service, you know, when I had the
yeah.
six pack and you know, and he looked at it and he looked at me and went, "What happened?" So
we
life, right?
Life happens, but you know,
Yeah.
as I was telling you, I'm blessed to still have my parents here, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't age mentally as fast as our bodies,
Oh, that's for sure.
right?
Oh, my body quit about 20 years ago. Yeah.
But mentally, we stay
Yeah.
younger than what we really are. So let me ask you a question, because you have done something that all actors, including myself, aspire to do, and that is be a continuous working actor. You have really had
Until recently,
you have had an
yeah.
amazing career.
Yeah, I just kept working.
Since-
I had a great mentor.
And
Charles
you start,
Stern.
and correct me if I'm wrong, because I told you if I get my fun facts wrong. I have down 1977. You did The Doctors.
Oh, that's going back a ways. Yeah,
Now,
the soap opera you're talking
yes,
about. Yes,
you did The Doctors, the soap opera.
Yeah.
What did you?
That was not my first.
I was
one,
going to
though.
ask you what did you do before that?
I think Love of Life was the first because, what was her name? Meg. She was the casting director, Meg Simon.
Okay.
And she saw me in a play and she asked me to come up. I thought I was going to get a job on the soap. And she asked me to read opposite people coming in and audition.
Oh,
I wasn't good looking enough
A
for
reader.
the soap. You
She
know,
wanted
yeah.
you to be a reader.
But you learned a lot. And after about 4 months of doing that,
You got really
she
good at
called
it.
me. She said, Dan, they want you to play this priest on Love of Life. And I
Right.
said, you mean they want me to audition? He goes, no, they've been seeing you for 3 months. They know you.
Wow, that's great.
So that's how
So
those
that
things
was it.
happen. Yeah, and then I did 2 years. I feel like a prison term. I did 2 years on One
2-year
Life to
stint.
Live.
Yes, you also did One Life to Live. And
I was Gus the Killer Pimp.
Yes, you were. You did 4 episodes or something like that. But and that's where did you meet
Judith Light.
Judith Light,
Yeah.
who I adore.
She's
And huge fan of hers, and always
Yeah.
tuned into All My Children, One Life to Live, and General Hospital.
Oh,
that
God,
was my afternoon.
God bless you.
That was my
you
afternoon.
You have more stamina than I do.
You know,
I'll
well,
tell
you know, after high school, that's the, you know, we went home and we watched, and then after General Hospital was Edge of Night, which got canceled. But,
Judith was.
and she's still a very, very good friend of yours today.
Oh, I love Judith.
Yes, she's
but
great.
We were. It's a funny story. I had to attack her on the show, and I had done some stunt work. So the day before we were going to shoot it, went on the set and I was doing what stunt people do. I was making sure there was no sharp edges, and Judith came out and said, Dan, what are you doing? And I told her, and she said, she threw off her coat and she said, let's work this out.
Okay.
And we worked out this great stunt. So I didn't have the power. She had already won two Emmy, daytime Emmys. So the next day when David Pressman, the director, came in, she said, Dan, I want to show you something. And it was brutal. And David said, boy, if you guys want to do that, we'll film it.
Yeah.
So we did. Now, so it was 2 weeks before they showed it.
Yes.
The day they showed it, I was walking out with Judith, and a woman hit me with a Campbell's soup can, full one. I still got a scar up here.
Oh
It's
my
like
gosh.
6 stitches because of tacking.
Wow.
And then my character was going to be knocked off in like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next day after airing it, on another network, Jerry Falwell complained about violence on daytime television, showed me attacking Judith Light.
Oh, my.
So I go into work, and I got a pink slip. They said, you're fired. I said, what? And they said,
Oh
we're not going
gosh.
to fire Judith Light.
Yeah.
So they wrote that my character
Wow.
ran out of town. Things were getting too hot. You know?
Yeah.
And
had to go lay
2
low.
weeks later, all the other guys, the guy who played my boss, and they all got killed off. So now they bring in another bad guy with another henchman, and that goes for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then that storyline's end. Then they bring in another bad guy, and he needs a henchman. And Mary Jo Slater, the casting Christian's mom, she said, we never killed Gus. And they brought me back. So I ended up with 2-year bad guy instead of a 1-year bad guy.
Nice. Okay.
But I never forgot Judith for that. And when we were doing Lombardi, Tommy Kail said, give me some names you like. And Judith Light was literally the first name I named.
Wow. How sweet. That's great.
And as soon as she walked, we saw a lot of very wonderful actors, big name.
Yeah.
But as soon as she auditioned, and I couldn't be there, I was there for all the others, and I begged Tommy, wait one more day, and she says, well, we're going to cast some other characters, and he wasn't happy with anybody, so he waited a day. I was in L.A., and he called me from New York and said, Judith just auditioned. We are not letting her leave the building.
Wow.
So they brought her in, and I said,
She's
Judith,
incredible.
you fooled them. You're stuck with me. But she's a great actress.
Oh, yeah, she is. She's unbelievable. But like I said, you consistently, is that how, when the first gig you got, was that how you got your SAG card, actually?
What?
When you did before the...
Actually, back then, AFTRA and SAG were not together.
They weren't, they were separate back then.
Most actors got their SAG card from doing a commercial.
Okay.
After you did a soap opera, and equity was always the hardest. But I actually got my equity card first.
Oh, you did.
I always did theater.
Yeah. Because that's where you where you started. But I have to just ramble some things here. You know what I'm saying?
Ramble all you want.
I mean, I don't think there's a TV show that you haven't done.
Well, there were a lot.
Quite honestly. Yeah. But yeah, you went from The Doctors, then you did Search for Tomorrow, did a couple episodes on that. Then you did One Life to Live.
That was
on One Life to Live.
That was great. That was a great gig.
Gus Thompson, right?
Gus the Killer Pimp.
Gus the Killer Pimp. Sorry.
I didn't even know he had a last name.
And then Thompson. And then in '85, you did Kojak with Telly Savalas.
Oh yeah, it was actually a 2-hour. It was after Kojak was over.
Yeah. It
and
was
then
like
they did a couple of movies of the week, the Belarus File, and that was great because I got to work with Max von Sydow.
Well, listen, I'm just gonna just read this off real quick because there isn't a show that I don't think you've been on, seriously. So let's just go through them real quick.
I don't remember.
Ready?
Half of them,
I'm gonna refresh his memory. Hill Street Blues.
Oh yeah.
Moonlighting.
Yeah,
All right.
well, I knew them.
Scarecrow and
New
Mrs.
York.
King,
Yeah,
Growing Pains, Stakeout, Cagney and Lacey, The Wonder Years, which we're gonna hit back on that because that was
Just talked to Danica
114
this morning.
episodes. NYPD Blue, Chicago Hope, The Rockford Files, Independence Day, Boy Meets World, Party of Five. It goes on and on and on. Diagnosis of Murder, and keep going. Ghost Whisperer, CSI, The Mentalist, Nurse
There's
Jackie.
75 of them. I don't know how many she's going to name.
It's just a plethora of shows that we all love and we all watch, and that the Goldbergs, The Good Doctor, it just keeps going and going and going and going. And it's Touched by an Angel. These are all shows that are so iconic that you had your hand in. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
you just keep working.
Yeah, and it's like I said, this is what I and other actors aspire to do, is to be look, to me, I love the craft. Fortune and fame, I don't need. I like my anonymity.
Yeah.
I like to go shopping without makeup and maybe without a bra. But the point is that to be a consistent working actor, I mean, other than COVID, when kind of like everything came to an absolute halt.
But I've never, what you don't have there is I've never gone a year without doing a play, including COVID.
Well, that also,
So I would have had even more, but
yeah, no,
I'd rather do theater.
I know. That's where your love lies.
Yeah.
And we're going to take my first break, and we're going to continue with what else he loves. So please don't go away. More with Dan Lauria when we get back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
The music was great, the singing was dynamite, the dancing was excellent, the people in the audience loved it.
When I heard you singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I thought you were little Michael Jackson reincarnated, come out and sang again.
Brought me back to my teenage years. Thank you.
Believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me.
Well,
Well, hi there, Theresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Theresa. Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. That's right. It's Dan Lauria. He's here. He's here in person in beautiful Massapequa Paradise Studios. He's an actor, he's a director, he's a writer, and has had an amazing career throughout the years, constantly working, doing something. I know you said you love doing theater, which we're going to talk about, but I really want to hit the Wonder Years because that was like 1988 to like 1993,
Yeah.
and you know, we have a couple of picks. There we go. Yeah, we're putting those up.
I just talked to, she's not in here, but I just talked to Danica this morning.
Danica, I don't know if she's in the next one. I don't know if I pulled her. No, it's not in the next one. But Danica's, yeah, they're all grown up now, Dan.
No kidding.
They're all all grown up.
Yeah.
And actually, so it's Fred, it was Olivia, Jason, and Allie. And Allie actually is playing on General Hospital now.
Yeah, she won the daytime
She's playing
Emmy last
Heather
year.
Weber. Yeah, she's great.
Oh, she's great. She's great on stage, too.
Yeah, yeah.
We did a play together last year, her and I, Patty McCormick, Mornings at 7. They loved the play. I hated it, but they loved it.
So let's talk about the Wonder Years. It was a great show, obviously. Tough love. You
Great
played
writers.
Dad, right? Jake Arnold. And, you know, how did that happen? How did that whole thing happen?
I did 2 episodes of Growing Pains.
Yes, you did.
And Neil Marlins and Carol Black, who wrote The Wonder Years, were writing on that show. And Neil was from South Huntington. And he was a good athlete. And when he went, he was younger than I am, but when he was at South Huntington, they were the big jocks.
Okay.
And when I was at Lindenhurst, we were the big jocks. We used to
Right.
beat up on us. So we just back and forth. And just a great guy. And when the Wonder Years happened, I never had a big agent. And I couldn't even get in for the audition. And Joanna Kearns, the mother on Growing Pains, she said, "Why don't you call Neil?" I said, "Nah, that's not professional. I can't do that."
Okay.
Well, Joanna Kearns called the casting director, who was the same casting director from Growing Pains.
Right.
And Mary Buck, and she said, "Yeah, let me call Neil." And Neil, as soon as he heard my name, you know, out of sight, out of mind. As soon as he heard my name, he said, "Oh, Dan, it's perfect. Bring him in." So, but the network wanted Elliot Gould.
Really?
And Neil and Carol insisted that they didn't want anybody who had done like a major role or been on a series. They
Right,
wanted it to
right.
look like the guy next door, and they
Yeah.
fought for me, you know.
Yeah.
So, and you know, being a wise ass, I almost blew it.
Well, I'm glad they fought for you, because
Yeah.
now I can't imagine anyone else in that, in that role.
It was so well written. When it's well written, a lot of good actors could play the role. It was one of the best written TV shows of all time. They still show it. It won the
Yeah.
Peabody Award every
Yeah.
year we were on, and
Right.
high school, junior highs still show it.
Yeah.
Teachers still base curriculums around some of our episodes.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is it's all told through Fred's character's eyes, Kevin, but half the shows end with the narrator saying, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have done that. They didn't make the kids smarter than all the adults.
Right,
And I think that
right.
was the charm of the show.
Right, the key.
Yeah.
Well, you also, like I said, other Blue Bloods and This Is Us and Fantasy Island, and it goes on and on and on. But you did do Pitch,
Yeah.
which
was written by Dan Fogelman,
yes,
who
and you
wrote
did, I
This
think,
Is Us.
10 episodes, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no, we did a
something like-
full season.
Oh, you
we
did?
thought we were coming back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
we
think
were
have. I
shocked.
think we have a couple. That's
Yeah.
from Pitch, correct?
Yeah, I did 2 sports shows, Hoop Life
Okay.
and Pitch, and we both did very well, and neither of them got picked up. So look, I'm not an executive. They get paid a lot more money for making terrible decisions.
I get it. I get it. And you were able to work with. I have it somewhere. See if I go out of order, I get a little.
Yeah.
From Chris Sullivan.
Oh, Chris
you
Sullivan
worked
was-
with him. He was in that pick with you, right? In Pitch?
Well, no, that wasn't
That
Chris.
wasn't him?
He
I
wasn't
thought it
on
was.
Pitch, but I worked with Chris.
You've worked with him before.
On Broadway
Yes.
in Lombardy.
Yes.
Chris played Taylor.
Okay.
Jim Taylor. And then on This Is Us, I played his father.
Right. It's
Yeah.
wild, right? How
Yeah.
it comes around. It's,
Yeah, Chris,
it's
great
crazy.
guy. Great actor and a very good singer, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I heard
A
about him.
blues singer. Writes
Yeah.
his own music. Matter of fact, he uses one of my poems for his song.
Oh, he does? Oh, that's nice.
No, he's a great guy. Great guy. Him and Rachel, his
That's
wife.
great. And then let's talk about theater a little bit, because you love theater. I love theater. I started
we're
in
having a
theater.
hard
There's
time
nothing
now.
like live theater. Yeah, it is. I think that since COVID, and I do a show, Murdered by the Mob, which we're going to be doing this Saturday night. Go to the website, and it hasn't been the same since COVID.
COVID had a lot to do with it, especially in New York. More about even Broadway. There are as many butts in the seats right now as ever before, but it's all at half price. And you notice a lot of great plays. Some Like It Hot won 7 Tony Awards. Shucked won Best Play, and they didn't make 3 years.
Right, right.
It's because it's just, 1, too expensive, and 2, we're not developing our theater, our love of theater like Canada does or England does. And off-Broadway, that is really dying because they never relied on tourists.
Oh,
it was
okay.
only, and they didn't come back after COVID.
No, a lot of things.
Yeah,
didn't.
so things are changing. And the thing that bothers me the most is the off-Broadway theaters, which I love. I did so many, from the Public Theater to, I played every place in New York. But most theaters are not surviving unless they get grants. And every grant has one word in common: young. Young writers of diversity, young black writers, young Hispanic writers, young women writers. Like, that's going to change the words on the page?
No. Yeah.
And that's what's hurting you.
Right.
I don't care what your cause is. If it's not a well-written play, it
Right.
doesn't help anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing plays off Broadway that, at best, when I started, Joe Papp might have given them a workshop. There were
Okay.
writers that should be encouraged,
Right.
but they weren't ready to be produced.
Right.
But that's the only way the theater can stay alive is grant money, and they got to get so many shows, and the grants, and that plus, if you look at most of our universities, if you go back even to 2000,
Yeah.
80% of the universities that had a theater department,
Yeah.
it now says communications department.
Wow.
So all these young kids are coming out making 10-minute movies, and not having done a play.
Right.
They can't sustain a character. They can't do more than 2 or 3 lines at a time.
Wow.
And now with self-tapes instead of going into audition, that
Yes.
really hurts the good actor,
Yes.
old or young.
Right, right.
Because being in a room,
It's a different
totally
experience.
different thing.
I prefer in-person auditions.
any actor worth his salt would.
Well, there are a couple that have told me, I kind of like I'm like self-tape.
Yeah, because
no.
they can't act.
Well, yeah, because they could do it over and over and over again
and
and
yeah.
cut and paste and do whatever they want. But
Pat McCorkle, a famous casting director.
Yeah.
I was fighting so hard to stop asking actors like me who've got tons of work to self-tape when they're giving the role to a very good actor, but with a bigger agent who didn't self-tape.
Right.
It's insulting. So Pat McCorkle would talk about, as a casting director, she would bring in hundreds of actors, see them, and then narrow it down to 10, called a callback.
Right.
And when you went to a callback, there was a producer, a writer, and a director in the room.
in the room.
And her job, and this is her words, I became the actor's agent in the room. So you would leave, and she would say, okay, the next person you're going to see is Dan Lauria. I saw him do this, I saw him do that. So she was actually guiding them to what you have done. And she would say, I can't tell you how many times I went back and said, the next person you're going to see, I know is wrong. I know it's not what you want, but I want you to see this person because I know what's coming up.
Okay.
All that's gone with self-tapes.
Yeah.
And she loves telling the story. She says, I saw Dan Lauria play Al Capone off Broadway. So I brought him in for a gangster. And while he's auditioning, my phone rang on the desk.
Okay.
Not cell phone.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the middle of the audition, I picked it up and I went, not now! Boom, I slammed it down. Because we were afraid not to hire him. You can't do that on a self-tape.
That's great.
You know, you can't tell a joke.
That's
you can't.
great.
And good directors, you could nail it. You could hit it right on the head. And a good director would say, you know, somebody like Sidney Lent would say, hey, do it again, but try it this way. They just wanted to see if you took a note.
Right.
And if you,
right.
all that's
if you can
gone
deliver
with
what they're
self-tapes.
asking.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's all gone.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, but if they're going to cut on every line like they do now, Oppenheimer won Best Editing. Longest take with 2 actors in the same frame speaking, 12 seconds.
wow.
Anybody can do that. That's not even editing in one Best Editing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Things have changed over the years.
That doesn't make it better.
No, it doesn't. It makes it very different. And
Chemistry with 2 actors happens here.
right.
As soon as I cut from your head to my head, we've cut the chemistry.
Correct. Correct.
So, and
You're right.
they'll realize it sooner or later. I'll
Yeah.
be gone now.
So theater, let's talk about the summer of 2006. You did a production of The Stone Carver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Master Simone.
Uh-huh.
You would have loved it. So Italian. Bill's one of the great writers. Yeah, my mother was, you know, I had a picture of my grandfather.
Oh, nice.
You talk Italian accent, you know the whole works.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
That's
know if I
good.
could ever do that play again because
Really?
it was a 10-minute fight scene. at the
Okay.
end,
Yeah.
you know.
We won't talk about the Mike Tyson fight, but we'll talk about in 2009 how you did another off-Broadway production of A Good Bobby, where you played Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa. It was
Yeah.
a good play by Brian Lee Franklin, and he played Bobby Kennedy. We got great reviews, and they wanted to, it was off Broadway, and they wanted to bring it to Broadway.
Yeah.
And he got wonderful reviews, and he was the writer, but they wanted a movie star. And then he says to me, what do you think I should do there? I said, they're going to replace you. What makes you think they're going to keep us?
Right,
you know,
right.
They'll get, so, but I love playing Hoffa. And Jimmy
Yeah.
Hoffa's son came to the play.
Did he?
And I was like, oh boy, you know, there's going to be 5 guys named Nunzi waiting for me outside. And but he came backstage and
Yeah.
he said, I think my father would have loved what you did.
Wow. What a
Yeah.
compliment.
Yeah, it was a good play.
Yeah.
Very good play.
Well, speaking about another good play, let's go back to 2010 when you did Lombardi.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and
Well, that
you
was
played
based on David Marison's book.
Yes, you beat me
And,
to that. Yes, I have
yeah,
that.
Eric Simonson was the playwright, but Tom
Yes.
McHale, who directed Hamilton and In the Heights, he directed.
Yes, and that again, Judith Light was played Marie.
Yeah. They didn't want me for that play.
Well, there you
either.
are. There you are on stage with her.
Yeah.
There you are. And I think the one before it too. If you didn't show that one comment, we could put.
Yeah, they didn't want. They wanted a movie
Thank you.
star.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I got this is I met this
Thank
two
you.
young people that were working on a play.
Yeah.
I just liked these guys, and they were in a bookstore in the basement.
Okay.
And I went down to see it, and they were working on a musical number. And I went to my agent. I said, "You got to meet these two kids." And my agent said, "The director looks like Clarabelle with dark hair, and the Puerto Rican kid can't sing." I said, "Get the hell out of here." And I gave him I went out to L.A. and I gave him my apartment to live in while I worked on a play free.
Wow.
It was Lin-Manuel Miranda and Tommy Kail. So Tommy Kail, now in the Heights, wins Best Play.
Oh my gosh.
Tommy Kail gets to direct Lombardi, and they didn't want me. They wanted a movie, they wanted, I think it was Martin Sheehan and Anthony LaPaglia were the two names that were mentioned.
Okay.
But Tommy said, "Listen, I want Dan Lauria. He's crazy. He'll fly in on his own money, and he'll do a reading."
Yeah.
And after we read at the table, the writers said to the producer, "He is Lombardi. He knows football. He looks like him."
Yeah, I mean, you played it, you coached it, you lived it, you ate it, you breathed it. Yeah.
So finally, Tommy gets me in, and then I recommend Judith Light, and they went nuts. 2 TV people, they'll never sell, they'll never make 6 weeks.
What?
We ran 11 months.
This was the longest running non-musical play that year, actually.
And we didn't get any Tony nomination, except Judith. We didn't get any Tony nomination.
And ironically, the Packers won the Super Bowl.
Yes,
that
was
year.
The last time they won.
That was the last time they won.
Coach, thanks, Coach.
And you have this great line. What does he say about winning? Do you remember the line about winning?
Yeah, but he hated that line.
I know
winning
that.
Isn't everything, it's the only thing.
Yeah.
He hated that. He was totally he was talking about the owners.
Yeah, it wasn't about what everyone else thinks it was about.
Right.
Yeah.
His favorite line was, "We will pursue perfection, knowing we will never get there. But along the way, we'll shake hands with excellence."
Yeah.
That was his favorite line.
Yeah, that's a great line. Great quote. He unfortunately passed away at such a young age.
57.
57 years old.
Yeah.
Back in 1970.
Yeah.
He was young, very
very
young.
young,
And he passed away in D.C. He was in D.C.
He wouldn't listen to the doctors.
Well, sometimes people do,
The
sometimes
Italian
they
thing,
don't.
yeah.
Thick. I know. You have to tell me, I know. 2012, you did a production of A Christmas Story.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah.
And it was a musical.
Yeah.
And you did it.
And I can't sing a note. I don't even sound good in the shower. I'm terrible.
And the next year, the following year, they wanted a much bigger venue.
We went to
So
Madison
they did
Square
it at
Garden.
Madison Square
Yeah.
Garden.
I didn't like it as much there. It was too big.
It's huge.
Yeah, but the kids were great, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it was great being in a play where every night, every seat was full.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
they'd walk in, "What did you do to my favorite Christmas movie?" And then they walked out going, "That was better." And
Yeah,
the music was
yeah.
written by the two of them won best score for Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah.
Matt and Ben. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
2015, you did Dinner with the Boys.
Oh.
Right? With Ray Abruzzo.
And Richie Zavala.
And Richie.
Yeah.
And I think we have a couple of pics of that.
Yeah, that was fun. Poor Ray.
Leave that there. Thank you so much.
They'll recognize Ray from The Sopranos.
Yes, Ray was on The
He was
Sopranos.
Little Carmine.
So that was Dinner with the Boys. And then there's 2 more, if you want
Yeah.
to put them up.
But poor Ray, he played 2 characters.
There you are on stage.
And we killed him twice a night. He
Oh,
got
that's
killed
great.
in the first act, he got killed in the second act.
Thank you for that. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see that. I did want to go, and
Oh, it
I
was a
didn't get to
sick
go because
play.
my friend, shout out to Greg Sullivan from Bayside. I know he went and he met you, and he said it was amazing. But let me tell you something. You had a plethora of beautiful people come out and support you. And I'm just going to say who they were real quick. I didn't pull pics because we're talking a lot of pics. But Danny Aiello was there.
Oh, I owe a lot of my career to Danny.
Yeah.
Because Danny kind of got his big break from a writer named Louis LaRusso when he did Lamppost Reunion.
Right.
And I got to know Louis. We were all in a group called the Forum of Italian American Playwrights, which is a story. It's 12 Italian writers in the same room. It's impossible. But as Danny got bigger, when they called him to do showcases, he would always say, I'm working now, I'm doing a movie, call Dan Lauria. So half the things I got when I started was because Danny told him,
Nice.
"You want another me? Call Dan."
Right.
Laurie."
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, great guy.
That's great. You
guy.
had Lee Mazzilli, as you know, is a good friend of yours.
I just
Lee
conned him into another movie.
Lee showed up.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, he just that summer,
you had
American Summer.
Chris Sullivan obviously came to
Yeah.
support you as well as well as Artie Pasquale
Oh, yeah.
was there, and Tony LeBlanco.
Oh, Tony, yeah,
and,
he just passed away.
And I know, unfortunately, and just so many people showed up, including Chris Sullivan. Like I said, he was there for you again.
Part of that is, my mentor was Charles Durning and Jack Klugman, and
Yeah.
we would always go to dinner. It would be Charlie, Jack, Peter Falk, and Dom DeLuise, and me.
Wow,
And
what a crew!
I usually
What a
invite
crew!
a young writer so I could hear the same stories over again. But what happened in L.A. when I got to Wonder Years, Charlie, he would never let me out of the theater. So I produced a couple of plays, and the first one was A Bronx Tale, and De Niro bought it for me, and I didn't want to produce after that. But Charlie said, let's start a reading series where once a month we read a new play, help writers get literary agents. So once a month for 6 months we read.
Right.
Then the next 6 months we read 2 a month. And then for the next 9 years we read 1 new play a week.
Wow.
And we weren't successful as far as getting the plays produced, but we got over 50 writers, literary agents.
Wow, that's amazing.
And all the stars wanted to read because it was only one rehearsal. It was a way of doing theater.
Right.
I mean, we had one play. I'm not making this up. We had one play, 4 old gay men who spend Thanksgiving together.
Okay.
It was called Thanksgiving. One hadn't been there in 15 years. And my 4 old gay men were Charles Durning, Rod Steiger, Jack Palance, and Robert Mitchum. Worst rehearsal I've ever been in. Out of 486 readings, might have been the best play we ever read.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't want to rehearse. We don't need to rehearse. They
Let's
just want to
do
know what
it.
the narrator said.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And it's nice sometimes when you fly by the seat of your pants like that. That's when magic happens.
Well, it's a reading, so the worst thing you can
Yeah.
do is try to memorize it because you'll get lost on
Right,
the page.
right,
so
right.
they knew that.
Yeah,
they were all
yeah.
pros.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And when it was one of those 90-minute plays with no intermission, and I thought it was going to be the worst reading we did because the rehearsal was so bad. But I went running back, and I went, "You guys were great." And Mitchum looked at me and said, "What did you expect?" And then Charlie Durning said what he always said to me after everything I've ever done. He put his arm around me and go, "Another 20 years, you'll be an actor."
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh
Peter
my
read a
gosh.
play with Woody Harrelson,
Uh-huh.
and Peter liked it so much they ended up doing it at the Geffen Theater with Jason Alexander.
Oh.
So they loved it. Because it was a way to do theater
Yeah,
without a
yeah,
long
yeah.
commitment. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Wow. And then 2019, you did The Guys with Wendy Malick.
Oh,
Right?
we do that. That's about the fireman who died at 9/11.
Yes, and
We're
I
the
think
only
we have a
two
pic.
do it off book.
I just have that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But we would we would go around and do it for fire departments.
Right.
And, help raise money for the fire department. So we did that a lot.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't wait for the 20th anniversary, and that's when COVID hit. It was the one year we didn't do it. And we do love letters still
Yes.
to help raise money for theaters.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Hey, listen, I'm going to take my last break because we're only doing 2 tonight. More with Dan when we get back after this. Don't go away.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
The music was great, the singing was dynamite, the dancing was excellent, the people in the audience loved it.
When I heard you singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I thought you were little Michael Jackson reincarnated, come out and sang again.
Brought me back to my teenage years. Thank you.
Believe in you. Let's see see if you believe in me.
What's up, honey?
How you doing? It's Sal, the voice of Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Theresa Canastraci, Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Theresa on Facebook, Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name.
Doc, who's the best comedian you know?
Theresa Farrell.
And who's the best actress you know?
Theresa Farrell.
And who's the best cast member in Bad Boys?
Teresa Farrell.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrell.
Doc, who's your favorite Jimmy?
Teresa Farrell.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrell.
All right, Doc, I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I want to thank everyone for watching the show. Please like it, please share it. You know who you are. My regulars are watching and I appreciate you supporting me. I'm with Dan Lauria. He's amazing. He's got a story about Peter Falk. Tell me about it.
Well, we would go to, like I said, we would go to dinner all the time, and Peter and Jack Klugman were the hardest working actors I've ever met. Everybody thinks they ad-libbed nothing. No, even the Cassavetes film, they would ad-lib for a day. Cassavetes would write it down, and then they would stick to the script.
Wow.
But Peter and Jack would drive. Peter was, Dan, should I move this here or should I move it over here? Just move it, Pete, will you? Let's get. And Charlie Durning one night says, Peter Falk goes, Pete, if acting was that hard, Dan and I wouldn't do it. But they were great. And Jack, I don't like to do revivals. I only do new plays.
Right.
And Jack conned me into doing The Price in Coconut Grove. That's a story in itself.
Okay.
But I would only do it if he did 2 new plays. And he always said the best play he ever did was The Value of Names, which I found for him was about the House Un-American Activities Committee, three-hander.
Wow.
So we're doing it at Gary Marshall's Theater. It was a Sunday. We didn't work Monday and Tuesday. And there's Peter, Dom, and Charlie Durning in the audience. And Jack Klugman comes running back, goes, we got to do it for us. Don't do it for them. Don't get caught up in that, And I'm like, Jack, what are you going to do? Shave my head and send me back to Nam? They're our friends. I'm looking forward. I was like Charlie Durning. Let's go, So and he went, you're right. So we had one of those magic nights. Nobody knows what causes them. Like Jack always said, we're always good. We always give the people their money, but there's nights that are just, we had one of those nights while they were there. And we're bowing, and as we're bowing, Jack goes, we got to get the boys together and find out what the hell we did right tonight. So Tuesday night we go to dinner, Great stories about what causes all that. And Charlie Durning, very emotionally. Remember I said he always would put his arm around me and say, another 20 years you'll be an actor. Yeah. Very emotionally, he puts his arm around me and he says, all right, another 10 years you'll be an actor. I thought I won the Academy Award. I was, and crazy. Jack Klugman looks at the great Charles Durning and says, Charlie, are you an actor yet? And Charles Durning said, Jack, I'm getting damn close. And Peter Falk reached over and says, I think you're there, Charlie.
Oh, wow.
See, that's the difference.
Yeah.
They didn't care about awards or.
I
give the same answer because of Charlie. But whenever you ask Charlie, what was the best thing you ever did? He would say, the next one.
Yeah.
And that's how those guys were.
Yeah. You're getting emotional. It's touching you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were great. It was great to work with them. And, like Charlie said, never grow up. It's called a play for a reason.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be playing.
Yeah.
But Peter and Jack, they drive you crazy.
Wow. Well, talk about playing. You actually directed I don't know how many episodes of The Wonder Years.
I only did 2.
You did 2.
I was supposed to do more, but the 2 I did are the only ones that have scenes without a cut, and they went crazy.
Yeah.
Where's the cover?
Yeah, see?
I didn't need it.
Right.
What if we want to cut something out? You shouldn't have wrote it.
Right. Yeah. So you did 2 episodes you directed, but you also wrote a movie in 1997 called Dog Watch that you wrote with Martin,
that wasn't our
with
title.
Marty Zerler.
Yeah.
And that was starring Sam Elliott and the late great Paul Sorvino.
Yeah.
And tell us about that real quick.
If you ever
Dog Watch.
Yeah,
Try
that
to
wasn't
find
our
it. Try to
title.
find it, yeah.
That wasn't our
they
title.
They switched it, right? Because they do that a lot. They change the names all the time.
Yeah, Dog Watch is what you call policemen who are on duty from midnight at night. But everybody thought it was about walking dogs. It was a very hairy job. But if you ever meet Sam Elliott and you mention that, he'll tell you it was a brilliant performance. And I had written it for my friend Joe Mantegna, but he was busy. They couldn't wait. And when they said Sam Elliott, I said, that's not going to work. He was brilliant. I'll tell you, what a great guy and a dedicated actor.
Yeah.
You know, everybody thinks he's this cowboy out there, but he's not. He's the ultimate pro.
Yeah.
You know, he had a scene in a confessional where he's screaming. He finds out he killed the wrong person. He's a cop, but he killed the wrong person.
Right.
And he's confessing and he's screaming. And you look at the scene like nobody would ever do that with a priest. And he's cursing and he was no good. He deserved to die. And then he walks out of the confessional and the priest comes down the aisle. And the priest says, "Oh, do you want to confess?" He goes, "I already did." There was nobody in there.
Wow.
And he was just brilliant.
Yeah.
And a nice man.
Yeah.
Very nice man, you know.
Sweet.
Kind of the
Very
people you
sweet.
like to work with.
Well, I want to talk about you being a writer because you actually wrote a few children's
Oh, children's,
books.
Godfather Tales
and, you know,
for my
I know
godson.
you're a big advocate on reading.
Yeah.
Especially reading to your children.
Yeah.
Of how, you know, you're not only making memories with your children, but it's really a necessity.
Yeah,
to read
and
to
I
them.
think parents should actually make up stories with their kids.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how my book started.
Yeah,
with my godson.
Well, so we have the first one.
Godfather
I think is it 3?
3 of them.
Yeah, so the first one's up there.
Yeah, the
right?
Blue Hair Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his idea, my godson's idea.
Yeah, isn't that great? And then they were
yeah, they're all Godfathers.
co-written with Catherine Farnsworth.
She's the mother of my godson.
Yes.
And she edits the books.
Yes. And then that's.
But he and I would write them, you know.
Is that the second?
The boy who
is that the
swallowed
second?
his
Did
car
you skip
was
the second
the big
one? Go back to the first. First one. Thank you. Now go to the second.
Yeah, you can get them
Thank
online.
you. Godfather Tales.
Yeah.
And the third one? Thank you. I want to get them all up there. I appreciate that. Thank you. So how did this idea come about?
Just with my godson,
He came to you one day and said, "Hey."
No. Whenever he stayed over. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to read him. He was a little kid. I said, let's make up a story.
A story,
yeah. So the blue-haired boy was his idea.
Right.
And he loved it when the boy who swallowed his car. And we had all these, you know, the girl with the rhinoceros in his mouth, which was about a woman bully.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, they do okay. Kids, you know, whatever money comes and goes to him for college.
Oh,
so.
That's great.
Yeah, but they're fun. They're fun to read.
Yeah, no, I love that.
And each one of them has an American Indian tale for the third story. So in the first one, it's a Navajo story about how the animals put the sun in the sky. And so we go through that.
I like that.
And about this one Indian who stole the dreams of wolves and how to put them back. So it has nice stuff in it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about some things that you have coming up. But before we do, let's mention Jerry Ferretti and
Kate.
and Katie and Nylith. We actually have a pic when you and I met together. When we met there. There we are. That's when we met. And
that was for the Inquirer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We're dating. Don't tell anyone.
Right,
Don't tell anyone. And then the next pic, real quick, let's put that up since it's there. That's you and Frank Hallow, who I had on last week, and Hal Linden.
Hal Linden. I just did a radio play with Hal. He's 93.
God bless.
And, you know, radio plays are great to do because it's only a couple. You read it, and you go up to the mic, you know, like the old radio plays.
Like the old days.
Yeah, that's what we did.
That's what people did. They didn't, not when I was around people, but they didn't have television, and they used to have the ear glued to these shows on radio.
So we recreated one. It was Gregory Harrison and Charlie Shaughnessy from The Nanny and French Stewart and his wife Vanessa and the Foley guy who makes all the sound.
Yeah.
So we sold out.
That's great.
Yeah. But it was
So you have some upcoming things that I want to just touch upon, a few of them.
Well, I'm going to do judge another film festival like
Oh,
Kate
yeah,
and
you're
Jerry
going to-
had
you're going to
here. Those two
Carolinas.
crazy people tried to start the Long Island Film Festival, which
Yes.
is a lot of fun,
Yes,
you know.
and it keeps growing and getting better and better. But you did actually a reenactment, right? Jerry did it was a documentary, and you did a reenactment of
This baseball game.
You tell it, yeah, in Lindenhurst. a lot of people don't know this story, including myself, until I watched it.
Yeah, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig came out to Lindenhurst. They used to fish out there. There was a minor league team out there that was doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And they actually played against the minor league team in Lindenhurst.
Right.
And it's the only time, or the only picture we ever found, where Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig are in uniforms that are not the Yankees.
Right.
They were
Right.
local. So we reenacted it. And
reenacted
Jerry had
it.
fun.
Yeah.
editing
And you
it
played
together.
who?
I played somebody on the visiting team, but you know they throw.
But you were
an
very funny. You were very
they
funny.
throw an
It was great.
invisible ball,
I
and
know.
and I
It's
pretended
it's a
to.
reenactment, but it was great.
Yeah,
it was
was
just
fun.
great. It's a great story, and it looked like it was a lot of fun to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry seemed to have fun editing it, you know.
So
But Jerry's like I am. We just do whatever Kate tells us.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good to know. All right. So let's just touch upon a couple of things here. You did American Summer. Yeah,
that was just last summer. Again, it had a baseball theme to it, and I got Lee Mazzilli and Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Yolan
I want to get
be in
Lee
it.
on the show. I'm going to get Lee on the show. I'll reach out to him. I've had on Doc Gooden, and I've had on actually Perry Williams, who won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants.
Well,
So,
Lee was there
Sports
when-
figures are more than welcome on Tea Time.
Lee was there when the ball went through Buckner's legs.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. That was insane.
Yeah, I got Lee into Tony and Tina's wedding.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, for a while he made more money acting than I did.
Let's talk about Ghost in the House.
Ghost in that. There's a dear friend of mine, Frank Megna, great director. He directed Dinner with the Boys.
Yeah.
He had a movie that he wrote about Jack Johnson. It's kind of like after the famous movie, but it ended up being a docudrama. But it came out so well, and it's on. You can go to 2-13.tv.
Right.
And you can see it, and it's doing so well. I'm hoping he gets a broader distribution of it. But it is brilliant. That people don't realize Jack Johnson, not only was he the first black heavyweight champ, but he spoke 7 languages.
Wow.
He started a nightclub in Harlem when that was unheard of, called the Excelsior Club.
Mm-hmm.
It became so successful, the mob pushed him out and renamed it the Cotton Club.
Wow.
This was all in his life, and this documentary that Frank made is terrific. And again, it's after what the Great White Hope would be. It's about the end of his life, and it's more and more people should see it.
All right.
It's
so
doing well.
2-13.tv. Look it up.
All
and
your
watch
young
it.
filmmakers should go to that channel.
Yeah, definitely. How about Captain for Dark Mornings? That was an audio book. Right?
Yeah, it's an audio book. Shad, who's I'm on the National Veterans Foundation board.
Yes.
And Shad is the president. He's a psychiatrist who served in Vietnam, and he wrote Dark Morning, Captain for Dark Morning, and it's a brilliant book. He's the leading authority on post-traumatic stress disorder. So it's for us veterans, it was an important thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Unsuited, TV series?
Oh, we're hoping.
Okay. All right.
Thomas Billigan, he wrote it. It's about a very studious, great student in New Jersey, the pride of his family. Tony Dennison plays his father, and he decides to become a professional gambler.
Really?
And we did the pilot, and we actually had some of the famous gamblers, and the guy with the cowboy hat, and all the guys. And they loved it, and they've been pushing it, and they're trying to raise the money from the Vegas. So who knows? We may end up shooting it.
So we have a minute left. So I want to ask you, before we go, is there a play that you haven't done yet that you'd like to do?
Well, again, I only like to do new plays.
Right.
But if, there's a lot of old plays I would like. I always wanted to play Midge in Requiem for a Heavyweight. You know, that's it's a character you don't know it's the villain or not. You know.
Yeah.
And I love Rod Serling's writing. You know, who doesn't?
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But I'm working with Bobby Moresco now in the Actors Gym, which is basically for writers more than actors. And Bobby, you know, he won the Academy Award for writing Crash. He also wrote $1 Million Baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I love working with Bobby, working with new writers and developing their scripts. So
Yeah.
I've seen, not that anybody out there would know, but I see some scripts that might get done. And I hope, you know, they'll probably get bigger name, but that's all right.
Listen, I want to thank you so much for coming
My
in
pleasure.
studio. It's lovely meeting you, and I appreciate this so much. And my door's always open anytime
Yeah.
you want to come back.
To the diner.
And we'll hit the diner.
Hit the
Definitely
diner.
hit the diner. All right, listen, thank you everyone for watching and tuning in and watching Tea Time. I appreciate it. Remember, tell everyone you love them, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.